All right, welcome back. I just want to take a look at tomorrow's games, Tuesday, 12/14, since there's no hockey on tonight. The Flames are postponed through Saturday. They'll play on Saturday against the Blue Jackets at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Tonight, they are also postponed against Nashville. They're supposed to play in Nashville, but no road trip. So let's get into it. Tonight, the Golden Knights. Oh man, not tonight. Tomorrow night, the Golden Knights play in Boston at 7 o'clock. That'll be a really interesting game. Vegas is playing really well. Max Pacioretty and Mark Stone on the power play have proven to be a lethal force. Boston's been on kind of a hot streak too. We'll see if they can keep it up. They still haven't traded DeBrusk. They're still kind of in the depth scoring department. So it should be an interesting game, should be an interesting matchup. Boston's goalies have definitely stepped up, and Leonard's looked questionable at times and then unbelievable other times. So it should be a good game. All these times are in Eastern Standard Time, so it starts at 7 again. Next we have the Kings playing at Tampa. Again, we don't know what version of the Kings are going to show up. They could play really well and put Tampa to shame, or they could play horrible. We don't know what to expect night in and night out with the Kings. So that game starts at 7. Tampa Bay's been looking really good as of late, and they're starting to put it together and making a real case to be cup contenders again for a three-peat. So we'll see. That should also be a pretty fun game, especially if the Kings play well. It could be a really, really good matchup. Next, we have the Senators at Florida at 7 o'clock. Probably not the best game. Senators are kind of struggling this year, struggling to put it together. The rebuild is not over, contradictory to what their GM said at the beginning of the season. Still have a long way to go, but they're making steps in the right direction slowly, but they're not there yet. Florida's also had a few issues the past few weeks, issues eking out wins, but hopefully this is a confidence boost for Florida and the Panthers, and we'll go from there. Should be a decent game. Next we have the Devils. They're playing in Philadelphia against the Flyers at 7 p.m. Both teams have kind of been struggling as of late, so whoever gets the win out of this, it'll kind of be a confidence booster, hopefully. I like both of these teams. I think they're both kind of underperforming a bit. Philly definitely is underperforming a bit. If you look at their roster, you look at their depth chart, they have pretty solid players up and down the lineup. And the Devils are a good young team, and they're up and coming, and some games they show up and play really well, and other games they look horrible. So we'll see what this brings. I'm pretty excited for this game. I think of the 7 o'clock games, I'm torn between Devils and Philly and Golden Knights in Boston. But Boston's been kind of tough to watch this year, so I might stick with the Devils game. Yeah. Next up, we have the Canadiens in Pittsburgh. Not much to say there. Pittsburgh's been playing well. Malkin's coming back soon. They have Crosby back. They're looking pretty good right now. They've been starting to tear up the league yet again, as we know they can. And the Canadiens are officially in a rebuild, which, good for them. At least they're acknowledging they need to rebuild and taking steps towards it. So good for them. I kind of hope they get it together. I like the old Boston Canadiens rivalry, but it's only good when both teams are good. So next up we have the Islanders playing in Detroit, again at 7 o'clock. Detroit's kind of fallen off a bit past few weeks. The Islanders have been struggling to get it going all season. Again, kind of a confidence booster game. I'm kind of rooting. I don't really know who I want to win. I'm rooting for both teams. I want the Islanders are better than their record. They're a decent team. As we all know, it's a couple losses, a couple gains, but they should have a better record than that. And Detroit, they're a lot of fun to watch this year. A lot of young, great talent. It'd be fun to see them make a playoff push. So should be an interesting game. Next, we have one of the games of the night. The Carolina Hurricanes playing in Minnesota at 8 o'clock p.m. The Hurricanes are 19-7-1. Minnesota Wild are 19-8-1. The Wild have lost 2 straight, so we'll see if they can bounce back, kind of get into their winning ways. Hurricanes, they're a dangerous team regardless. So both teams are dangerous regardless if they're on winning or losing streaks. They're both going to give you a hard time. So this should be a fun game to watch. especially in Minnesota. The Wild like to play in front of their home crowd. They usually have some nice comeback games at home. Most of their comeback games in the last few seconds are at home, so that should be a good one. Then we have the Sabres playing in Winnipeg at 8 o'clock. Sabres, they got off to I don't want to call it a hot start, but they had a very easy schedule to begin the season off, and they took advantage of it. They've kind of simmered down quite a bit since then, as they were expected to, and here we are. Winnipeg is also not playing up to their potential. I know I had them making the playoffs in, not a wild card position, a divisional playoff spot before the season started. I think they're better than their record. We'll see what happens. It might be a competitive game. It might not be. It'll be one to watch. Then we got the Blues at Dallas. Again, with Blues and Dallas, you don't know what to expect. The Blues have been hot as of late. They've been playing really well, even with all the injuries. Can play well. We've seen them play well this year, and they've also played pretty horribly. We'll see. Yeah, I don't have much to say on that one. It might be a fun game to watch, but if one team, fun game to watch. So that could go either way. Rangers are at Colorado. This is what I'll be watching. This is why I got the Rangers jersey on. I'm really excited for this game. Rangers, they're the real deal, man. They've been playing really well. Shesterkin will still not play. He's still injured. But Gorgiev's looks great as of late, and Colorado is on a roll. They're on a tear. They're back in the playoff hunt after a slow start. And Darcy Kemper has been playing really well, and I'm a big Darcy Kemper fan. So that starts at 9 o'clock Eastern. That's the 9 o'clock. That's the game I will be watching. That's my favorite game of the night. So pretty excited for that. Then a lot of the Canadians may be watching the Leafs-Edmonton game. Leafs, they're a great team. They look good. They don't have Marner. We'll see how they can fare the storm without Marner. He's on the LTIR, so he's out for at least a few weeks. In Edmonton, they're on a 5-game losing streak. And we know they can score. We know they have a decent team. We know they can win. They were on a nice, impressive streak to start the season off. So they've kind of settled down a bit, but we'll see. I think Edmonton's going to come out with fire in their home building and give the Leafs all they can handle, or more than they can handle, maybe. So we'll see. But if you're not too into the Rangers Avalanche game, that might be another game that's worth watching. So see if who can pull ahead in the points race, Draisaitl or McDavid. So next at 10 o'clock, the Blue Jackets are in Vancouver. Vancouver's hot under Coach Bruce Boudreau. They're on a bit of a winning streak, and the Blue Jackets are still working to find their game. And then at 10:30, we have the Kraken playing San Jose. I'm rooting for the Kraken. San Jose's played really well. James Reimer's been playing out of his mind. In my mind, he's a Vezina candidate this year. We'll see what happens. So I'm excited. Let me know what you guys are watching, and take care.